Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring, and today is Monday, July 15th, 2024. Hey, how you doing? I appreciate you stopping by and watching my video today. Hope it's going to be helpful for you. So I had a good short trade today on Tesla on the intraday on the 5 minute that I wanted to share with you. But the reason that I took this trade, it seemed a little serendipitous actually, because I had been thinking about this over the last few days because, I trade and I teach return to value V1s, V2s. I trade and I teach higher low V1s, V2s to the long side. But a couple days ago, I thought, what would a return to value V1 or V2 look like if it was to the bearish side? And I said, well, I guess it'd just be the exact opposite. And so, first of all, let me show you a swing trade that I did on the daily trades, showing you what a return to value V2 is on the long side. So let me point out the two green lines here, the green line here and the green line here. Anywhere in here is considered the value zone. Now, for a return to value V1 or V2 to the bullish side, first of all, you want to close outside the value zone, which we did. Second of all, we want to come back in the value zone, which we did. Third of all, we want some sideways motion, which we had. And then when all of that's in place, then you can take a V1 or a V2. In this case, this was my trade. This was a real trade that I took on Tesla on the daily with the V2. Here's bar 1, here's bar 2, here's bar 3. Bar 2 goes below bar 1's low, or as I like to say, it washes it out, goes below. Does it go below bar 1's low? It certainly does. Then bar 3 closes above bar 1's close. Well, that's the entry of my trade. So again, we close above the value zone, we come into the value zone, we have a sideways motion, then we have a V1 or a V2. And by the way, if you'd like to learn more about V1s, V2s, just go to my YouTube channel in the lessons playlist, and I have a video there about V1s, V2s. So above the value zone, into the value zone, sideways motion, V2. And you can see that was a monster trade for me on the daily. I got out on this day, whatever that was, on the 11th, and it's gone back up after that. It's okay. It was awesome. Really, really great trade. So now let's flip this exact same thing, but to the bearish side. And that's the trade that I took today. It's just really ironic to me that I was thinking about this. But let's see if the same holds true. Remember, before we were above the value zone, we come into the value zone, we need sideways motion, then we need a V1 or V2 to get long. Well, if we flip it all on its head, we would first need to close below the value zone. This is the 5 minutes. Are we below the green line? We certainly are. We need to return to the value zone. Did we? We certainly did. We need sideways motion. Did we get the sideways motion? We did. Now all I need to get into the trade to the short side is a V1 or a V2. Well, here was the trade. But instead of bar 2 going below the low of bar 1 and then bar 3 closing above the close, it's the opposite. Here is bar 1. Bar 2 goes above the high of bar 1. Bar 3 closes below the close of bar 1. So do you see how it's exactly the same, but just flipped on its head? Close below the value zone, rally into the value zone, sideways motion. When all of those are in place, then a V1 or a V2 to the downside will get me short. Well, here's the V2. Bar 1, bar 2 goes above bar 1's high, bar 3 closes below bar 1's close. I got short here, 260.50. Now, as soon as I get short, I always have two stops. My emergency stop is 2 ATRs above. My end of day stop on a V1 or a V2 is simply a close above the halfway of the bar 2. Right here, halfway of bar 2. You can see here's the orange line. That's what I love about V1s, V2s, return to value V1s, V2s, is the stop is always so close. So 2 ATR above, end of bar stop, just a close above halfway of bar 2. And then if my maximum allowed loss is 2 ATRs, my profit target is going to be twice that, at least twice that, in this case twice that, for ATR. So I got short here 260.50, immediately went up against me, got right to my stop, but that halfway did hold, and it closed below, keeping me in the trade. We went down, had a little sideways motion, then we had this other leg down, and here I got out of my trade when I reached my 4 ATR profit target for a gain of just about 5 points, about 1.9%. So that was a great trade, perfect setup. I saw this setup starting to form because I was like, okay, we're below the value zone, we're in the value zone, sideways motion. And one of the things I teach my students is when you have a V1 or a V2 to the long side, you want to reject the -1 ATR channel. Well, if we flip it on its head, look, we rejected the -1 ATR channel here because we're short. We rejected the 1 ATR channel, just perfect. Below the value zone, into the value zone, sideways motion, V2 entry, 2 ATR stop, 4 ATR profit target, end of bar stop, close below this halfway of the washout bar. The main thing here is that it's a good risk to reward ratio, and it really worked out. So I wanted to share that with you. I hope it was helpful. If it was, I'd appreciate if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help to build the channel, keep the channel around, let YouTube know that there's some valuable content here so they can get out and share it. If you'd like to learn more about my trading and my trading methodologies and strategies, 3 options. Option number 1, Saturdays, I always do a weekend review podcast on YouTube where I go over all my swing trades that I did in the previous week, both on the daily time frames, the weekly time frames, when I entered, why I entered, and how I'm going to manage the trade going forward. It takes me about an hour to do all this, so there's a lot of content there. I think you'll like it. You'll learn something. I also talk about the trades that I'm looking for in the coming week, so that might be helpful and valuable. Number 2, if you would like to study directly with me, I do teach a private one-on-one course via Skype in the evening time. It is a 15-hour course, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. I teach you all the different strategies that I use. I teach you step by step. I've taught people from all over the world, from beginners all the way up to the hedge fund level. So, if you'd like to find a mentor, a trading coach that has almost 29 years of experience in trading, consider working with me. I'll teach you everything I know. If you're interested, my email is in the link in the description. And then number 3, I have a great online course where I teach you the deep dip buy stock trading strategy. This is just one of the many strategies that I use, but it's super affordable. It's somewhere, I think, between $30 and $40. It's 9.5 hours of video. I teach you step by step, every rule, everything you'll need to know to be able to teach that. And I promise you, any of those are gonna help your trading, whether it's the podcast, the one-on-one lessons with me, or that online course. So if you have any comments or questions about this, please leave them in the comment section. I'll do my best to get back to you. But I appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.